Hi, I'm Randy Thompson from the Environmental Division at APHIS headquarters. The video you are about to see focuses on one of the most important components of your underground storage tank system, namely the leak detection system. This is an instructional video on the most common system we currently operate, the Veeder Root TLS 350, as well as the recently developed TLS 450 being installed at all new fueling facilities. You will learn how to use the main components of each panel, obtain and interpret various reports, and understand specific alarms. The more you know about your leak detection system, the better off you will be when it comes to regulatory compliance and avoiding NOVs. If you have problems or questions concerning your specific leak detection system, please contact your local petroleum equipment contractor. Thanks for watching.
Hello, my name is Mike Thornton and I'm with Veeder Root. I'm here today to explain the basic operation of your TLS automatic tank gauge system. First, the purpose. The system is designed to meet federal, state, and local requirements for release detection for underground storage tanks and pipelines. For tanks, the system is required to test the tanks on a periodic basis, looking for leaks of 0.2 gallons per hour or greater. For lines, the system is testing the lines once an hour, looking for leaks of 3 gallons per hour or greater, and then periodically, either once a month or perhaps once a year, looking for a 0.2 gallon per hour release or 0.1 gallons per hour release. The TLS user interface display consists of 3 components: a 2-line by 24 character LCD display. This shows the system status messages and alarm messages. There is an operating keypad. This is used for operating programming modes, and all actions are accessed there. There's also an alphanumeric keypad, and this is where user data is entered. There are also 3 status indicators. A green lamp shows that their system has power. An amber lamp shows that the warning event is currently active on the system. A red lamp shows that an alarm vent is currently active on the system. Operating keys let you display and print information, start and stop tests, program the system, test the system's operation, and review diagnostics. The alarm test button silences the alarm. It does not clear the alarm message from the display or disable the alarm. This key also activates and deactivates output relays when using the output relay test function. If your system has a printer, it will print an alarm or warning report when this button is pressed. The mode key selects a mode, either operating, setup, reconciliation, or diagnostics. If you press mode while in a function or step, the system advances to the next mode. The function key accesses functions within a mode. If you press function while in a step, the system advances to the next function. The step key moves from one procedure to the next within a function. The tank sensor key advances the tank or sensor through the setup procedures or diagnostics data. The change key is used in the operating and setup modes to enter and revise a previous setup parameter or change in entry. The enter key either completes a selection or enters data into a function. The backup key allows you to move backward through steps, functions, and modes to access data or entries you have already passed. The print key generates a printed report. The alphanumeric keypad has alpha and numeric keys and cursor movement functions when entering setup information. To access, view, or print the current inventory, you will use the operating keypad. If your system was supplied with a printer, you can simply press the print key when the system display is in the normal mode, displaying date and time across the top line. This will print the current inventory for each active tank. To access inventory information without a printer, from the normal mode, press the function key until the display reads in tank inventory. Press step to continue. The system will display the inventory for tank 1. By pressing the step key, additional information for the current tank will be displayed. To view the next tank, press the tank sensor key. Follow this procedure until all tanks are viewed. Your system should have been programmed to automatically print an inventory increase report following a bulk delivery to the tank. If the report is not printed or is lost, the system will store the last 10 deliveries in memory. To access, view, or print the last inventory increase amount for a tank, from the in-tank inventory view, continue to press the step key until the display reads Tank 1, product name, and a delivery volume in units. To view the last delivery amount for other tanks in the system, press the tank key. To print an inventory increase report, select the tank and press print. The delivery report shows how much inventory has increased. If your fuel is blended with ethanol, any water indication must be handled as soon as possible. Failure to do so could result in damage to customers' cars. An inventory increase report will contain a variety of information. The volume represents the volume of liquid in the tank. The height will be the measurement in inches and tenths. The water in inches, and then the temperature of the fuel in degrees Fahrenheit. If this is an inventory increase report, then you'll show an inventory report for the beginning and the ending with the net difference shown at the bottom. The TC net volume represents temperature compensated and generally is not used. If equipped, the TLS system is capable of performing periodic leak tests. If programmed correctly, test results are provided automatically every 24 hours. You can also obtain current CSLD leak test results by pressing the print key from within the CSLD test results function. To view CSLD leak results, press function until the display message in tank results. Press step to continue. To view additional tanks, press the tank sensor key. To print in-tank test results for all tanks, press function until you display the message in-tank test results. Press step to continue. Press print. The report shows whether or not the tanks passed or failed the leak test. The CSLD test results report will show the report and the results of the 0.2 gallon per hour leak tests for the tank. It will show the tank, its product, the time and date that the test was passed. If equipped, the TLS system is capable of performing tightness tests on the pressurized product lines. The pressurized line leak detection, PLLD, system can run tests manually or automatically. To view pressurized line leak test results, press function until you display the message, pressure line results. Press step to continue. Press step and view the display. The information will be for one of the lines programmed. Continue to press step as new information for the line is displayed. The information displayed will make a full circle and is repeated. At this point, press the tank sensor key to display the next line. Repeat until all lines are displayed, and then press print. The system prints the test results for the last test, as well as the number of 3.0 gallon per hour tests run within the previous 24 hours and since midnight of the current day. It also prints the results of the last 10.2 gallon per hour tests and last 10.1 gallon per hour tests if programmed to perform these tests. A PLLD history report prints the last 3 gallon per hour, the first 0.2 gallon per hour, and the first 0.1 gallon per hour test results for each month. To print the PLLD history report, press step to display the message Q and the number, PLLD and the number. Press print for history. The letter Q denotes the pressure line leak sensor being displayed. Pressing the tank sensor key will move through the remaining lines programmed on the system. If it should become necessary to start a manual test, you will first need to take the product to be tested out of service. Activation of the product during the test will abort the test and require starting the process over. First, ensure access to the product has been closed. To start a pressurized line leak test, press function to display the message Start Line Pressure Test. Press step. The system displays the message, select line, all lines. Press step to accept all lines or change, then enter to select a single line, then press step. Select the test type. This step lets you select a 3 gallon, 0.2, or 0.1 gallon per hour line test to run on the selected line or lines. If your system does not have 0.1 or 0.2 gallon per hour test options, you will not see these selections. A note, approximate test times assuming no dispense and no thermals for a 3 gallon per hour test will be several minutes. A 0.2 gallon per hour test can be as much as 30 minutes, and a 0.1 gallon per hour test can be as much as 45 minutes. Dispensing cannot occur during these tests or the test will be aborted. If your system has alarmed indicating a potential line leak and shut down the line, you must acknowledge the alarm by pressing the alarm test key, and then start a test to clear that alarm by pressing the function key until the display reads pressure line test. Then press step. If you want to test all lines, you can press enter, or you press change to select the line in question. You then press step to select the type of test. You want to pass a 3.0 gallon per hour test, and press enter to start the test. The pressure line leak test report will show the results of the line tests. These tests will be reported as the number of passing tests in the last 24-hour period and the number of passing tests since midnight of the current day. This is for a 3 GPH test. If the system is also performing 0.2 or 0.1 gallon per hour tests, it will show the first passing test for a 0.2 test for each month in record and the last passing test for a 0.1, generally no more than 6 months in age. Liquid sensor status reports the status of the liquid sensor connected to the interstitial sensor module and indicates if liquid or an alarm condition exists. To view or print the system's sensor status, press the function key until the display reads liquid status. Then press the step key to continue. The first sensor will be displayed and its status. You can press print to print this sensor. You will press the tank sensor key to change to the next sensor in the system. And again, press print to print the status of that sensor. Repeat as necessary. The liquid status report will show the status of the interstitial or sump sensors attached to the system. This report will show the status of the sensor at the time the report was generated. If the TLS should sound an alarm, the alarm horn can be silenced by pressing the alarm test button on the operation keypad. If the condition has been corrected, the message on the bottom of the display will change back to all functions normal. If another message is displayed, this indicates that the alarm condition continues and needs to be investigated further. Refer to the procedures supplied by the Installation Environmental Department. The type of alarm will be indicated by the device code shown on the bottom of the display. The number following the device code identifies which device is in alarm. If there are multiple alarms shown on the system, the display will cycle through the alarms in the order that they were triggered and continue until the condition is corrected. The system setup defines how the system is programmed, the number and type of devices connected, and how the system will respond to abnormal conditions when it's detected. The programming of the system setup should be done by a trained technician or a person with good understanding of the system and its operation. Improper programming can adversely affect the system's performance and the ability to provide the required regulatory monitoring, testing, and compliance reporting. System troubleshooting can be very complicated and involved, based on the number and type of devices connected. The operator should refer to the TLS Troubleshooting Guide for more details. Basic troubleshooting can be performed by the operator. However, if the alarm or problem involves compliance testing and monitoring, it is recommended to contact your local service provider or the installation environmental department for guidance. And now I'll demonstrate how to change the paper in the system's printer. First, you open the printer door, and then you lower the printer drive mechanism lever. Remove the existing roll of paper, being sure to retain the axle. Install the axle in the new roll of paper and install the paper so that the sensitive side of the paper is showing outward. You then thread the tail of the paper through the drive mechanism until you have a small piece. Close the drive wheel lever and insert the printer paper through the door cover. While Veeder Root does not require periodic functional testing of the TLS system and its components, some local regulations require or owners desire annual functional testing. If periodic functional testing is to be performed, it is strongly recommended that the TLS Operability Testing Guide be followed. This guide provides the step-by-step instructions to properly test the system, sensors, and devices without risking damage to the equipment, the tester, or the environment.